What's going on, people? It's Boo from Mile Hi Distilling, and you might be asking yourself, what am I doing with these works of art? Is Mile Hi Distilling doing some kind of new museum? Some kind of art museum? No, you goofballs! These are stills! These are copper alembic stills. These are beautiful works of art. They're hammered one by one, each one handmade by artists and crafters, and we supply them all. Now, you've probably seen the traditional Alembic style down below here and up here, but what you may not have seen, because it's a Mile Hi exclusive, is going to be our 8-gallon Alembic milk can boilers. So the same stainless steel milk can boilers you're used to loving here at Mile Hi, we now offer in complete hammered artisan-made copper. So they're wonderful units. Now, we really love the stainless to copper aesthetic, getting a little bit of both. So you're going to see this kind of tiered out. We're going to have a stainless lid, copper here, stainless condenser, followed by some stainless components, copper components all together. We really love that look, and that's kind of, in a way, our staple look. But we do offer this with a copper lid as well. We'll definitely have close-ups of all this equipment and everything else you need to see, but let's kind of explain more about Alembics. Alembics are traditional designs that have been around since, I think, the 16th century, maybe the 15th, maybe even earlier than that. And the name Alembic is actually Middle Eastern, translates to the still in Arabic. So it's, its primary purpose is to distill with. Been around for a long time and made many, many phenomenal spirits. They are bar none for that. They're going to be an ultimate source of flavor profile coming through their design. Think about it. I mean, if something's been around for centuries, clearly that design works and it's been perfected upon. Because they're an older design, they're not going to use tri-clamps in a lot of newer units like you'd see. So you usually have to use a rye flour paste and paste it along these seals to keep things pretty tight. Now, because these are handcrafted, they try their best to make things so tight that that seal doesn't have to be actually applied. And sometimes, if you get lucky enough, you get a perfectly made boiler where you won't really even have to seal it. It'll just kind of keep a seal by itself. Very rare circumstance. So 999 out of 1,000 cases are probably going to need that paste. It's part of the design, and it's something you deal with an Alembic. And I think it's worth that extra effort you put in, right? These are going to deliver such a great flavor profile that I think it's worth going to that extra effort. So both these Alembic boilers that we offer are 20 gauge copper, again, hammered and hand rolled, everything like that. What you're going to get with the unit is going to be your pot belly boiler. You're going to follow that up with an onion head, followed by what's called a line arm, and then into your worm, which is your condenser. You do have a thermometer included with the equipment as well. The smaller style you see is going to be our 1.5 gallon Alembic. That's going to yield right around maybe a quart or so per run. A run takes about 6 hours on these units, and recommended heat sources are going to be hot plates. Now, when you add a hot plate onto the Alembic unit, you're adding it onto the pot belly portion, and it's going to give it maybe 6 or 8 inches or so of space as that hot plate sits underneath. So you'll have to counteract because your worm is sitting on the opposite side. You're going to need to also get that up about 6 or 8 inches so everything's leveled. Keep that in mind. The bigger unit we offer is going to be our 5-gallon Alembic, and that's going to yield closer to about maybe 3 quarts or so at a time, and all the same components you're going to get, pot belly all the way over to the worm. A run takes about the same time, 6 to 8 hours or so. And same rules apply. We're going to usually use a hot plate underneath this. Some people use gas burners, but because these units are full copper, that's going to tarnish the unit pretty extensively. And really, any heat source will. You will start to oxidize and sort of tarnish your equipment past the first use. So just know when you're buying into these, they're beautiful. They make phenomenal, phenomenal spirits. And I don't want to give them any discredit, but they will get tarnished. It's the nature of copper. Keep that in mind. A little more info on these Alembic style units is they do make a few different models of these that have just sort of come out over the years. Remember, these have been around for 5 centuries, a little bit more probably. This is your traditional Alembic, probably the most common Alembic. What they do make is something known as a Bain-Marie style. What that's essentially incorporating is with the Bain-Marie style still, you're going to get sort of a bucket, a tub that actually goes around your main boiler. And its primary reason is basically acting like a jacket. Some of those double-walled boilers are doing the same thing. That jacket is going to be filled with oil, and that oil is heated, protecting anything in this inner core. So if you have fresh fruits that you want to store in those alembics, maybe you're making a nice cognac brandy, something like that, you're going to be able to safely put those fruits in without the risk of scorching. There's also something known as what I believe is Charentais, which I think is a sort of a newer type of alembic, newer by, instead of 5 centuries, 3 or so. And I believe that actually started in France. Now what this is essentially doing is you're basically adding a thumper to an alembic. You're going to have your main pot, and then rather than going from this line arm into your worm, it's actually incorporating a second boiler in here. And that's going to house a lot of your plant material. So a lot of Charentais use is going to be your main boiler acting as sort of a preheater, sort of like steam heating. And then it's going to go into your Charentais boiler, I suppose, and that's going to house your usually wine, but you know, fresh fruit. Do what you want. You're a home distiller. You have no rules. Put what you want in there, and then going into your worm to condense. So they definitely get a little bit intricate. There are some suppliers out there that offer sort of a higher grade of alembics, if you will, and I would say they're pretty exclusive to what those boilers are for. And if that's not your full thing, but you're still wanting to capture some of that Alembic flavor, you can use our 8-gallon boiler here. And this has been a little more futurized, we'll say. What you'll be getting here is going to be a 2-inch port right down below, and that's actually for a drain. That's something we've taken from our stainless design and improved upon. So you're going to have a 2-inch drain port. You're also going to have a 1/2-inch coupling on that same side for a thermometer or just a plug. And then if we flip things over, and we're going to have another 2-inch port, and that's primarily for our heating element. So you can adapt this to be fully electric, and you're going to have that drain port. Now as far as the lid goes on here, we have a stainless lid, and we also provide a copper lid. Our stainless lid is designed to work with tri-clamp fittings, the same way you're used to here. So you're going to install a gasket and then a lid clamp, both are included, and that's going to seal that stainless lid down on this pot. If you want a more traditional alembic route and want to keep that copper, add a copper lid, but that one will have to be sealed with paste. We do include the lid clamp and gasket in case we can seal it tight enough, in case you want to try, but more often than anything, they're made to be a little bit bigger so that a paste can be applied around in traditional alembic fashion. What I have installed on the top here is going to be our dual purpose Copper Pro. So this is a really versatile unit. This is going to offer a sight glass in here that allows flavor infusions to take place. So you can add honeycomb, cinnamon stick, all kinds of neat things and infuse the flavor out that way. It does come with an adjustable condenser line so you can swivel to where you need. And our Dual Purpose Pro is dual purpose, so it can operate as a pot still or keep this chamber clamped down and installed in to act as a reflux still for high proof neutral spirit. Very versatile unit. On our site currently, we do offer both these Alembic styles, and then we offer 8-gallon boiler by itself, as well as if you wanted to add this unit you see here, you can do so. I've included a link to all the units you're going to see here down below in the description, so be sure to check it out. And we will be offering more units in the near future regarding this boiler. Before we add new units, we're just kind of seeing how testing goes on this design and whether people like them or not. And so if you're interested, please pick one up. And yeah, I mean, that gives us the feedback we need to know if you want to continue to see this sort of design in larger towers, in different configurations of towers. A quick note on our 8-gallon milk can boilers. It's going to be, right now, we don't have anything capped off or ported, but when you actually get this can from us, it's all going to be there. You're going to have caps to blank everything off in case you want to use propane or a hot plate. And then you're going to be able to install heating elements and drains if you choose to purchase those. We do offer this 8-gallon milk can style boiler with this tower in a complete kit as well, and that's going to be included in the link below as well. And when you get that kit, that's going to come with your heating elements, as well as we're going to throw in a drain on there. So you're going to have plug and play, ready to go right out the gate, aside from raw ingredients. I want to take the time as well to tell you guys how greatly these are packed. So here's our Alembic box. Surprise! That's the Alembic box that houses our Alembic boxes. Here's where our actual Alembic will be in. Very thick styrofoam all the way around. And then for this 5-gallon, this awesome packaging, we're gonna go ahead and, just to save on space, keep the worm inside of the boiler. And then it's got this nice little styrofoam ring keeping everything up. So very, very nice packaging. And it's gonna just be really neatly packed and protected throughout all that styrofoam and boxes. So everything's gonna be safe travels to you folks. And it's all gonna be universal. Whether you get the smaller or the bigger Alembic, or you get our copper boiler, it's all gonna be packed all the same. All right, guys, that's the video for today. I wanna say, I've said it in past videos and I wanna say it again, I am not by any means a salesman. I just love what this craft can produce, these beautiful works of art, functional art, and the fact that we have our copper cans up. I am so, so excited for those. We've been planning that at Mile Hi for years, and just to finally have them is so cool. I had to do a video on it. I do want to reward you all. Anyone who's made it this far, your patience will be rewarded. I have a coupon code for you. You're going to be able to save 10% off on any of the stills that you've seen in this video, plus free shipping from us at Mile Hi. Before I give that code though, don't you skip ahead in the video. Stay here and take a shot with me. What I have here behind Little Ricky is maple aged vodka. Cheers, folks. Cheers. Guys, thanks for sticking around and watching our content. Please use MHD Alembic right here for 10% off on any of the Alembic stoves we sell, including our copper boilers and full copper Alembic kits. We appreciate your business. We appreciate your viewership and your support on our content. And until next time, y'all, bye.